we should wait. This hurts too much. Need this to end. No, it's getting late. I don't want us to end this in hate. Don't believe in fate. If only there was a way to relate. But these tears keep falling deep inside my mind. If I only knew how to say goodbye. To move on, to be free. Free from the past. Used to dream it would last. Forget what I didn't have it in me. Let you be free. And this thought keeps telling me I should move on. Let it go while you can say it with a song. I don't think we should wait. This hurts too much. Need this to end. No, it's getting late. I don't want us to end this in hate. Don't believe in fate. If only there was a way to relate. But these tears keep falling deep inside my mind. If I only knew how to say goodbye. Looking back, we both knew we did what we could, as we should. We can break it, we can make it, whatever will be. It's still worth every tear, all the fear, just to be near.
Hello again, everybody. Ooh, hello, hello. What do you think of that last talk? Anybody, put your hands up. Are you more freaked out than you were 5 minutes ago, or no? Everyone knew what was happening. Okay, cool. Our next session today takes us right into the heart of how AI is reshaping healthcare. I love this thing. I love this stuff, specifically neuroscience. We'll hear about the journey of MoCA Cognition, a Montreal-based global leader in cognitive assessment, and their mission to push the boundaries of early detection in Alzheimer's and related diseases. In partnership with Osedea, they're using the purpose-built AI models to automate clinical assessments, reduce bias, and scale access to cognitive screening worldwide. Joining us today are two incredible leaders, Martin Coulombe, the president and founder of Osedea, and Steven Ricciardi, VP of Partnerships at MoCA Cognition. Please join me in welcoming Martin and Steven to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to All In. My name is Martin. I'm the founder of Osedea, and today I'm really excited to be with you on stage to talk about a project we've been working on over the past 9 months to scale and automate early detection of cognitive diseases. So cognitive diseases, Alzheimer, Parkinson, Huntington, and more. I'm lucky today to be on stage with Steven Ricciardi, the Vice President of Business Partnership at MoCA Cognition, our client. So what we'll be talking to you today about, first is quick intro of who is Osedea. Then Steven will talk to us about what is MoCA Cognition, why have they embarked on an AI journey, and then we'll talk a bit about the AI itself, the data challenge we face, how we overcome it. We'll talk about the AI models, and then we'll look with Steven what's next for MoCA, what's next for AI in neuroscience. So first, what is and who is Osedea? Osedea, we're an innovation firm. So what we're doing essentially is we're leveraging our AI skills, design skills, software, robotics to develop efficient and enjoyable solutions for our clients. We work mainly in manufacturing, mining, and healthcare. And this is an healthcare project we'll be sharing with you. About a year ago, MoCA Cognition contacted us for their AI project. If you're like me, most likely you didn't know what is the MoCA company. But if you're in healthcare, MoCA is known worldwide. There's more than 24,000 scientific articles about this company and their processes. So Steven's going to talk to us a bit about MoCA and their AI journey.
Thank you, Martin. Is this on? You hear me? Yeah? Okay, thanks. So Steven Ricciardi, Vice President, Strategy and Partnerships with MoCA. Sorry. So our mission is through research and innovation to deliver the most accurate cognitive assessment tools possible. And now, more and more, these are digital platforms. So could you go ahead? So what is the MoCA test? So the MoCA test was invented 20 years ago. Was at least a paper-based tool developed by Dr. Ziad Nasruddin, a neurologist here in Montreal. He was trained at UCLA, still a practicing neurologist, and he's our CEO at MoCA Cognition. So this tool, used by healthcare professionals and researchers around the world, is now available in over 100 languages and dialects. We estimate beyond our registered users, there are about 2 million healthcare professionals and researchers using it around the world, and over 100 million tests administered per year on paper. The validation studies span, mostly we know it as an Alzheimer's and dementia tool. It's known as this, but its cognition is not disease specific, so it covers Parkinson's, stroke, long COVID, cancer, cancer treatment, etc. These are all things that impact cognition, and the MoCA is a suitable tool for assessing cognition in these cases. And more recently, so maybe 5-6 years ago, we started this journey of digitizing using mobile tech, web tools for video conference, and more recently AI. So here we are. And why do we decide to use AI specifically? Well, you have to understand the problem we're trying to solve. So there are bottlenecks. There's a major bottleneck in the diagnostic pathway for diagnosing cognitive disorders, specifically Alzheimer's. So paper tools like the MoCA test, the cognitive assessment is still a paper-based process. It's the first step before you begin more invasive testing. So you would do a quick paper-based test, then you could do a multi-hour neuropsychological battery, then blood tests, CSF or lumbar puncture for cerebral spinal fluid, genetic testing, scans, all this, and it starts with paper-based testing. Now we have a aging population. We have new Alzheimer's treatments coming to market. They're FDA approved in the US, soon to be Health Canada approved, we believe, very shortly. So this is putting a lot of pressure on primary care, and we all know there's shortages of healthcare professionals. So we're thinking of AI, and just to be clear, we're not trying to replace healthcare professionals with AI, but we want to empower the healthcare professional to use AI to help more people. So right now the model is one healthcare professional testing one patient. Now we're trying to reimagine the model. We're developing a model where it's one healthcare professional overseeing 10 or maybe 100 patients, and automating using AI the manual processes. So the test administration, the test scoring, data management, data entry, managing the diagnostic referrals, and letting the clinician focus on what they should be focusing on, interpretation and clinical decisions, and letting them do this at scale. Here you can see the MoCA test. Still, this is the gold standard tool around the world. It's a one-page document, 13 tasks. Each task is a quick assessment of a cognitive domain. So these are things like memory, executive function or logic, verbal, visual, spatial, et cetera, et cetera. And this is how we determine if or screen for cognitive impairment. So I won't go too much into the test right now, but this is just an overview of what the current gold standard is. It's a paper-based test.
Good. So I'm going to talk a bit about the AI. So the objective, like Steven mentioned, is to automate the scoring process of the test so that we can scale it to more people. To do this, there's 13 tasks in the test. So we use a combination of 15 AI models spanning computer vision, speech-to-text, NLP, LLMs, all working hand-in-hand together to be able to score the test. The clock task. So I'm just going to back up the clock task. So the clock task in the test is the one in the upper right corner, so that square there. The patient needs to draw a clock. Quite simple for us to draw a clock, but if you're aging, if you have a cognitive disease, it's going to become hard to draw a good clock. So what is a clock? What do we have to do in that test? A clock has a contour, so it's either a circle or a square. There's numbers, 12 numbers. They need to be in the right orders, in the right position, and needs to be two ends, one shorter one for hours, one longer one for minutes. So the goal is to be able to score those clocks automatically without someone overseeing the patient and saying this clock is good, somewhat good, or not good. The first problem that we encountered, like a lot of our clients, is the data challenge. Obviously, data is scarce, especially for our use case. What we needed for that specific task is end-draw clocks labeled. So when we start to search the web, like everyone, what we found is a data set of unlabeled clock. Already we were lucky to find that data set, the one that's on the left. So there was end-draw clocks, but they were not annotated. So we need to start that work. So our team got to work and started with annotating the ends. So the ends for the minutes, the ends for the hours. 4 people took them 40 hours, so a full week at 4 people, just to annotate 6,000 ends. If we need to do all the numbers in the right position, plus the contour, we were set up to work for 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 weeks at 4 people, so not really cost efficient for a client and for the project. So we took another alternative to create synthetic data. So we looked for other data sets. So we found the MNIS, which are the characters that you see. We found a data set about end-draw shapes. So what we've done is to create synthetic data, is we've leveraged the data set of the unlabeled clock that we found. We reused that. With some pre-processing technique, we extracted the contour. So we skeletonize it, scale it, erode it, and so on. I won't go into the detail of all of these. My colleague Jack, who worked on it there, can answer any questions you want. So we extracted the contour. Then we added the numbers by finding the center of the contour, the right position. And then we've been able to place the number. And finally, we took the ends we annotated in the step before, and we've been able to scale them to the proper size, randomize them, the position, and create clocks that are labeled. So you can see a clock that is annotated is all the square that you're seeing. So we can say, this is a hand, this is a correct one, this is a number in the right position, this is a contour, and so on. So now with that synthetic data, what we've done, okay, so here's the results. So these are all kind of like clocks created by the system, by the computer. It's not data set that we found. These are automatically created clocks. I don't show the annotation on those, but these come all annotated. So in the span of maybe a week and a half, at one person, we save what would have been required to do over maybe, let's say, 4 weeks at 4 people. So that was a win for that project, because keep in mind, there's 13 tasks, and that's only one of them in the project. What's next? Then we use computer vision models. So in that case, it was the YOLO model to try to find the important data point of a clock. So we have one model to identify the contour. And then we have another model that's going to work to identify the numbers and their position. And then we have a third model that's going to identify the ends and their position. So with that, with the data we created, with those models that we trained with the data created, then we've been able to score the clock. So when we look at the clocks right now, the first one, it's a perfect clock. You can see it. It's easy to see. So right away, it's a 3 points. The model did find all the aspect of it. The second clock, it's a great clock, but the person forgot to do the contour, which was an important piece in the test. So it's a missing contour. The numbers are okay. The ends are okay. The system identified the relevant data points. It's going to score it a 2. And then lastly, you can see this is a typical clock that we're going to get in the process. So there's no numbers, the ends are not linear, but there's somewhat of a contour. It's not perfect, but it's there, it's okay. The system's going to score it a 1. The thing with this is, in terms of benefits, I have benefits on the other slide, but I'll talk them now, is first, like we shared, we can automate that process and be just more efficient. But the other very important thing in healthcare is going to be the human error or the human bias. Scoring a 3, super easy. So, that's a great clock. Scoring a 0 when it's just a line, so easy. But when it comes to that, let's say that clock on the right, is it a 1 or a 2? This one is somewhat obvious, but sometimes we get clocks that are going to be hard to evaluate. So the people who are certified to give that test, they're going to sometimes 98 people are going to, evaluators are going to give it a 2, and 2 people are going to give it a 1. But that 1 is still a real value, right? So the neuropsychologist, when he's going to look at the result, he's going to rely on that. The advantage of AI here is that once we've proven that it works, it does the correct judgment calls, it becomes more precise than the human to annotate that test. So what this is going to lead to is most likely, in some edge cases, better diagnosis and enable the neuroscientists in a better way, which is the big benefit here. So I had the benefits here, challenges rapidly. There was a lot of things at that project. We talked about the data scarcity, but there's also like the diversity of tasks to automate. Like you saw, I only showed one of the tasks. This one relied only on computer vision. Some other tasks rely on voice, natural language processing, and so on. So we needed to bring different skill set. And then the architecture. So managing all that data that needs to be secure, it's patient data, and then having all those models working end in end together. That was like a big challenge. I talked to the benefits already, but I'm going to switch to Steven. Steven is going to share with us a bit, now that we've done that we've been able to automate those 13 tasks, that this is working well. What's next for MoCA and what's next for the future of neuroscience with AI?
Thanks. So what's next for us is really aiming for earlier and earlier detection. So for the Alzheimer's drugs, which I mentioned, these are anti-amyloid therapies. There's amyloid buildup in the brain, and now we have a new way to treat that and delay or slow down disease progression. But for these treatments to work, you have to identify these candidates very early on in the progression. So we're able to get them quite early now with the available tools, but there's the bottlenecks that I mentioned earlier, and we can potentially go even earlier in the disease progression. So by using all the voice inputs, the touch inputs on the devices, we have richer data, and we can apply machine learning to find these novel signs of cognitive impairment. So higher sensitivity means you're detecting that milder, more subtle impairment that you wouldn't capture otherwise. Also, hopefully, we can start potentially categorizing by disease pathology. So we can be disease-specific, more of a diagnostic tool. This is beyond the scope of the current MoCA, which is really just a cognitive screening tool. But with all this rich data that we're collecting, this is possible, and we're working on this. We're also working on deeper integrations with all the other elements in this diagnostic pathway. So, for example, these are real examples, AI tools which scan the electronic health records, the patient records, to find candidates who should be undergoing cognitive testing. Also, another real example, we're very integrated with the novel blood-based biomarkers. So these are blood tests which find signs of amyloid in your blood, much less costly than doing a brain scan. And to be a candidate for these treatments, you have to have the biomarker positivity and you have to have cognitive impairment. So it's very synergistic for us. We're also deeply involved in new platforms, direct-to-consumer testing, which is a new concept, not to replace clinical testing, but we're expanding the scope to reach the consumer or the patient at home prior to even seeing a clinician. And lastly, everything that we're doing it's on a global scale. So the MoCA is globally adopted in like I said, 100 languages. So, and all these different regions require linguistic and cultural adaptations. It requires validation studies in these different populations, and it requires regulatory approval, which is very burdensome. These are big projects, so we're very open to collaborating with other companies. We always do with academic sites in Canada or internationally to expand the reach of these projects. And I'll just give a quick, just a status update on the project that we're working on together. So this fully automated MoCA Solo, there's two components. We're automating the administration and we're automating the scoring. Automating the scoring aspect, where you're basically doing a lot of what the human does today, places us in a category of medical device. So we have a validation study underway for this, and then regulatory approval will be the next step. But currently we have an automated version that replaces at least the administration, and you still have a human or multiple humans scoring the test. So this is available now. We have it across multiple sites in the US and Canada. It's available in English, Spanish, and French. And if anyone's involved in healthcare, I'd love to talk to you later. Come visit us at the Osedea booth.
Good, excellent. And just to close it off, like this project is a collaborative project, so it's MoCA's team and us that did it together. It's not just us, but collaboration is key. So just to close it off, like Steven, what did you enjoy working with Osedea, or why did you select us, or what was the driver, and are there any learnings from that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Osedea wasn't easy finding the right partner, and we really believe, we know we found the right partner in Osedea. True knowledge experts, a comprehensive, multifaceted approach across product, web, our database. So really thinking about it holistically. They really found they're presenting, we see our blind spots through them, where they're presenting solutions to problems that we didn't even really know we had yet. So we're very happy working with Osedea on this project.
Great, and we're really happy to work with MoCA. So we have a big booth towards the end of the room. We're the one with robots over there, and the Canada Goose project as well. We're showcasing the MoCA projects. Feel free to come to us. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.